Hey everyone, welcome to the first edition of Flashplay Rewind this week in Flash. This is going to be a little experiment of kind of a show that I'm thinking of doing I don't know how often I'll do it. Every week, every 2 weeks, every month, I don't know. But just kind of review some of the cool games that came out in Flash this week. Stuff that I will not do complete playthroughs of, either because they're too short or because, you know, they may not fit the style of which I'm doing, but they're cool games nonetheless. I'm always checking out new games. First game we're checking out is called Johnny Upgrade, available on Armor Games. And this game is very simple, where you play a superhero who can't really do anything. What you have to do is you gotta keep playing and buy upgrades. Upgrades include speed, to jump, move, everything. All sorts of stuff you do have to upgrade. So you play by space button, and then you start to move around. You start going really slow. You can't jump. You can barely do anything in this game. Everything has to be upgraded. It's actually a really fun concept because you have to upgrade everything that you need to do, including jumping, speed, double jump, getting a gun, ammo, every sort of thing you have to upgrade. So this game makes it quite an interesting little piece of play, and it's actually really fun if you have to spend the time, you know, getting through the upgrades. There's a nice final boss at the end that does challenge your skills quite a little bit. So it may seem like the game has to repeat itself quite a lot right off the bat. So don't worry about that, because eventually you'll start getting into it, collecting all the coins and whatnot, and eventually it'll be a great little game for you to play. So definitely go check this one out. Johnny Upgrade on Armor Games. Play. Tell me how many deaths, if you can keep track. Take how many deaths before you actually complete the game. I took quite a long time because I didn't know how it worked the first time. Check this one out. It's Johnny Upgrade. Fantastic little game. And let's check out the next one. Alright, the next game we have that came out recently is Achievement Unlocked 3. For those of you guys who've played Achievement Unlocked before, it's a game where it basically has a whole bunch of things for you to unlock achievements on. There's touching this, jumping, all sorts of stuff. It's created by one of the most renowned artists on Armor Games, Jim, JMTB02, and he has his favorite elephant character. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go and create a new game. It's very similar to Achievement Unlocked 1 and 2, where you're basically fitted with this level that has a whole bunch of stuff, except now the world's a lot bigger. And there's a lot more to do and a lot more to unlock. So basically what happens is you traverse this world here that has pretty much, you know, interacting stuff, and everything you do or don't do or whatever eventually leads to an achievement, which is kind of cool. So if we jump down here, for instance, and we're loaded into our very first game, and check out the world here, it's huge. And so it has a whole bunch of text. You gotta check it out. But basically, look at all those achievements. This game is really slowing down my computer because there's just so much that you can do. So there's hundreds of achievements that you can scroll through, and they're full with all sorts of weird stuff, from simple jumps to not jumps, doing stuff like moving, to checking out the menu, and all sorts of stuff. So it's just incredibly interesting for you to go check out. And it's one of those games that really panders towards gaming OCD. If you're the kind of person like me who has gaming OCD, you'll find yourself playing this game 12 million hours just to unlock every single thing on this game. So as you see, move the mouse is an achievement, start scrolling is an achievement, everything in this game is an achievement. It's actually a lot of fun. So go check this one out if you have a lot of time to waste. Check out Achievement Unlocked 3 on Armor Games. The next game we have is a fantastic kind of a tower defense game, but with a little bit of a twist. I don't normally do tower defense games on my playthroughs because I find that they can be a little bit repetitive for video purposes. But that doesn't mean they're not fun to play. So this game is a kind of a tower defense mode with an interesting little system management where you're not building towers along the sides where enemies just move along. You're actually building towers right in the path of the enemy. So you have to check out like tower life and all that, and upgrades and so on, and you just play through, and the enemies come charging forward. There are little bugs that you have to fight with first, and you have all your guns and they're ready to take out enemies. There's a forward button right at the top that you can press, and this brings on the enemies quicker, and you can see your guns take them out. Once again, it's not like a traditional tower defense game where you're just putting towers along the side and just watch enemies go by. You actually have to interact with the army, because at some point they're going to come up heads up with you, and you're going to take some damage on your towers, and you can see them, and you have to click on them to repair your towers, which will cost a little bit more resources. So it's got an extra little bit about managing your resources, not just to buy towers, and there's a repair speed and everything. So it's a very active battle system for a tower defense game, which is fantastic gameplay. So if you're into this kind of games, tower defense games, with a little bit of a twist, do check this one out. I do have to warn you though, I've played quite a bit of this. I do enjoy my tower defense games, so I've played quite a lot of this, and it does get really tough at the end. So this double speed thing, you're not going to be doing that for a while, because you have to manage your towers quite a lot in this game to actually make things happen. Starting levels are really easy, playing on easy mode, to get the feel of the game. Then after that, when you start really playing the game, it starts getting really challenging and really tactical. When all sorts of other upgrades and other towers come into play, you'll end up having a full skill war. So as you can see, the enemies are pretty simple. The animations are actually really good for a tower defense game. It's not your, basic sprites. There's actually quite a good bit of animation that goes on. So it can be a little bit taxing. And as the maps progress, you're not just going to have one entrance to block, you're going to have several entrances to block, and it's going to get insane. So that's pretty cool. Right now, there's actually not much happening, but I do want to show you a little aspect of the game that makes it really fun and tactical. As you can see, the tougher enemies are starting to come. And here we go. There's air support right here. So when you're looking, you have to be really tactical with these because they take a long time to upload. I mean, not upload. They take a long time to recharge. When the big army and you think you can't handle it, send in reinforcements and very quickly taken care of. So if you're into tower defense games, do check this one out. It's called The Last Shelter on Armor Games. A bunch of Armor Games games today because they just pumped out quite a bunch of stuff that I played and kind of enjoyed. So let's go on to the next one. Alright, the next game that we have up for you is yet another Armor Games offering. This one came out a little while ago, but since it's the first edition of Flashplay and Rewind, we're definitely going to check out this one. This is Infectonator 2. Now, we've been given two prior games, Infectonator 1 and Infectonator World Domination. This is basically a management game, but it's got a cool little twist to it, where you're controlling a bunch of zombies, and you basically go through trying to dominate the world. And this is a tutorial level here. You start converting people into zombies. They go around infecting all sorts of different people. You collect your money, and you use it to upgrade your zombies, and eventually try and take over the world. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys this kind of game, this is definitely one to check out. It's a lot of fun, it's very immersive, and there's a whole world that you can check out with lots of upgrades in your lab. And it's not exactly really quick either. They do cost a lot of money, so you will have to take your time with this one. And it's going to last a pretty decent amount of gameplay. There's a whole world to take over with tons of cities. Every city is different and interesting, and has different characters in the city, and you get all sorts of stuff. And there are a bunch of achievements that you can unlock. I don't remember where they are. They're somewhere here. Are they here? News. Oh no, it's not here. But there's a bunch of achievements that you can unlock based on how you play the game, and it's definitely one to check out if you enjoyed the previous Infectonator series. There's not much that goes on new in the Infectonator series, but hey, if it ain't broke, why fix it? It's definitely a program that works, and people enjoy playing this game. I personally enjoyed playing this game so much. I completed the game, and it's a great one to check out. So do check this one out if you're into it, and if you like the previous Infectonator series, and if you like spritey characters with attractive clothing. If you're into that kind of thing, this is definitely a game to check out. It's Infectonator 2. One thing that I will caution when playing this game is that there's some things that make sense in this game and some things that don't. Some achievements will bother you quite a lot, especially those involving the supports. Because you can only equip 4 in each game, you'll have to go back and forth between the labs. Like for instance, if I roll over this thing, before I even start the game, you can notice there are different challenges that you can accomplish. Now, you can only destroy the city and gain extra gold by completing all challenges, so do check out what it requires. Kill 1 people of support. See, if you have no support armed, you don't get the achievement. But there's also an achievement for no support. So you gotta play through the same levels a couple of times before you get all the cash, and it helps for getting cash flow into playing the game. The next game that we have for you is available on Newgrounds. It's called Utopian Mining. This game's a very nice casual game, career game. If you ever played those kind of games where you're required to go through a bunch of things, buy different upgrades, and go through, like, building up your career, making the robot stronger and so on. This is a digger kind of game, where you basically have to go through, dig for ore, you can press down to dig, and you dig through the ground and you find ore. And as the deeper you go, you get all sorts of different kinds of ore that you can sell later in the shops and buy upgrades. There's also a small mini-story that goes on with this game, so it's not all just, trying to get more money. As you can see, the map is humongous. That small little corner that I dig, that's in the top left corner of that black square there. This map's really huge, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can interact with, and it's really quite a lot of fun. It's a very casual game, it's a little slower than some games that you like. So if you're a kind of guy who likes to play an action kind of game, and it's all, you know, fighty and fast-paced, this is not the game for you. But if you're the kind of guy that likes playing casual games, just taking your time, going slow with the game, and having a little bit of fun, this is definitely a game that you should check out. It's called Utopian Mining on Newgrounds. Go check this one out. It's actually a lot of fun once you get into it. There are a whole bunch of different upgrades you can do, and kind of a mini story that goes on, as I mentioned before. So you have to talk to people, and the quest that they're required to do requires them to either give them money or get them ore. So you can do all sorts of stuff, and as you can see, there are different factors that play into the game, like heat. The further down you go, the hotter it gets, and you have to buy different upgrades that allow you to deal with the heat. There's also speed upgrades to allow you to dig faster, move faster, and carry more ores. So it's a very well-balanced game, and you can take your time with this one. You can even just, for the fun of it, just try and dig around all sorts of different places and see if you can find special kind of ores that you can sell. So go check this one out, Utopian Mining, and we'll see what's the next one. The next game that we have for you is also available on Newgrounds. This one released quite recently. It's called Awesome Flames with upgrades. What more could you want in a Flash game? Upgrades is the key to a lot of fun. You keep playing the game and keep getting better at it. Somehow it's just really addictive when you get upgrades in the game. Anyway, coming off the back of a great vertical flying fighter game, Trader that I recently played, this one is a lot different in terms of style and in terms of the way it plays. It's got a little bit of a wonky control where you're only controlling by the mouse, which means that you have to fly in the direction of the person that you're trying to shoot at, which has never been my favorite way of controlling, but there are upgrades to make your engine a little faster and so on. So you move around with the mouse, the plane sort of follows around the corner, and you can move in all directions, but you generally move as a horizontal shooter where you're going in one direction to ultimately complete the game. But it's got a lot of upgrades, and it certainly is a little bit of fun where you can move around freely, and you can buy all sorts of different upgrades to make your plane a little faster, a little stronger, a little better, and stuff like that. So upgrade your afterburner, upgrade your rockets, you can buy lasers, you can buy plasmas, you can buy bombs, and all sorts of stuff. And you can just keep playing, and there are a bunch of achievements that you can get down here. So do check this one out. This is a really simple kind of game. If you enjoy upgrades, if you enjoy flying around, shooting all sorts of kind of stuff, this is definitely a fun game that you can have fun with. Really short. Do be advised that the story mode is really easy though. So if you're looking for just a quick casual game to play, this is definitely one that's worth checking out. It's got a kind of a wonky control system. If you can get used to it, it's definitely a lot of fun. Next! Alright, the last game that we have up for you is indeed a big one. This is a really nice and immense, long Flash game that you can check out. This is Fancy Pants Adventure World number 3. Now, if you're a fan of the original Fancy Pants Adventure, definitely check this one out. This is an improvement in a lot of ways. There's a whole larger world for you to interact with. There's also a mini story that goes on. I've never been playing this game for the story, but it's definitely a great platformer. If you love traditional platformers, you're gonna love this one. We're just jumping around, bopping on enemies. The thing about the Fancy Pants world, though, is that the way in which you interact with the world is absolutely fantastic. You've never seen physics in a Flash game like this one. So there's a lot of weird, really cool moves that you can pull off with Fancy. You can jump off walls, you can run up walls, you can do slides, you can do all sorts of stuff. Be warned though, when you're playing this game, you have to be ready to spend a large amount of time on this game. Firstly, because the game world is actually really big. Secondly, because when you're doing all sorts of these crazy moves, trust me, you're gonna waste time just doing them for the sake of doing them, because they're really cool. I mean, look at this backflip jump forward. That's absolutely amazing. So you collect, it's kind of a really basic Mario style kind of world where you can, you know, just collect stuff and move around and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. Check out the slide and the catch on the ledge. Oh, look at that. I mean, have you ever seen a Flash game with physics like that? You can run, do backflips and all sorts of stuff, jump on, double backflip. No, it's really cool. So this game is a long, large platformer game that will definitely immerse you in its world, and it has a lot of fantastic physics to play with. So do check this one out if you enjoy old school platforming. If you played the first 2 Fancy Pants Adventures, you're definitely going to enjoy more of the same. So check out this wall run. Check this out. Here we go. Look at that wall slide. Woo! And wall run, up, backflip. all sorts of cool moves you can pull out. Anyway, guys, this has been the Flashplay Rewind this week in Flash. How's that for a first episode? Once again, remember that these are not the best games or whatever that came out this week. Neither are these all the games that came out this week, but these are definitely some of the games that I've enjoyed playing this week. And I hope to showcase a few of them. I don't know how often I'll be doing these videos. Do let me know if you enjoy this little program here that showcases some of the Flash games out there in the world that you can try that came out recently and are certainly a lot of fun. In my opinion, anyways. Maybe you don't enjoy the same games that I enjoy, but definitely do check these out. Give a thumbs up to the guys who make them. The guys who put the work into making these games free of charge for you are really doing us a great service. So definitely go show your support for them. Go show your support on the websites that they're hosted on. Most of them on Newgrounds and Armor Games. They do put out some of the best Flash games out there. I do check out some of their websites. If I come across something cool, I'll definitely let you guys know. So I don't know when the next show is going to be, but let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this show. And stay tuned to Flashplay for more great Flash games. This is the Admiral for the Flashplay Rewind. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome to Taco Shed. How can I help you?
One taco, please. Confirmation bias is awesome.
Welcome to your nightmare, Joe.